Hello everybody, how are you? We're going to have a demonstration on the joins as I explained in my earlier video. We're going to start off with the inner join. This is the earlier data that I had in the database that I was using does not have some common data, so I created another database which I called Mark, and then it has tables. It has two tables, okay, and once let's see the rows, the records that we have in these tables, and then also we have we select all from student. Okay, so these are the two tables that I have. Under Hasifah we have these three records, and then under student we have those 4 records. So when we start off with an inner join, like explained in the theory, in the video that I sent, the inner join looks at the common data between the 2 tables. So we begin off by selecting, we say select all from, in this case we have, let's call this Hasifah, inner join student on, then we say Hasifah dot, the registration number of Hasifah is reg number, okay, equals, then the registration number of student, the primary key of student is also reg number. Okay, so what the result set actually is, it has if you see a table called Hasifah, first name, DOB, email, last name, pro code, and reg number. That is for table called Hasifah. And for table called student, we have reg number, last name, and age. However, it will only display the record of Kevin, okay? Because Kevin is the only common record that we have for both records, looking at the primary key, because it considers the primary key. Okay, all right. Then that is the inner join, but also you can use another way to represent the inner join is by just using a select statement, or select all from Hasifah, comma, student, where Hasifah dot reg number is equal to student dot reg number, and then you terminate. So you realize that both this select statement, which does not have a join, will return the same value as this select statement in the inner join. Then we have the natural join. Now the natural join, I want you to look at the results of the natural join vis-a-vis the inner join. So we say select all from student, then we say natural join Hasifah, and then comma. Now if you look at these two, results executed, now we have the table called Hasifah. I should have used the same order as Hasifah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We have first name, DOB, email, and pro code, okay, and last name. under the table called Hasifah. Now in the table called student, okay, it will only pick out what it's going to do is it's only going to pick up the common what the difference between the table called student and the similarity between table called student and the table called Hasifah is the registration number. So whereas you see this other one, it will return both the registration number, which is a duplicate. In the natural join, it will only return one column called registration number. Now that is the difference between using natural join and then using inner join. Then we have what we call a left join. Okay, the left join, we're saying, remember in the earlier video we said that it returned the complete set of records from a table A with matching records of the table B. If you don't have any results that are matching, it will return null values on the right hand side. So in this case, if we say select Hasifah, okay, select all from Hasifah, okay, select all from Hasifah, left outer join, and then you say student, okay, on Hasifah dot reg number equal sign student dot reg number, and then you terminate. Okay, so what are we saying? That it will left join, it returns everything that is in Hasifah. Okay, so if we go back in our table called Hasifah, the original table, this is the original table: first name, DOB, email, last name, proc code, and reg number. So it returns always proc code and reg number. Okay, but then also it will bring the table called student now, which is the right table. It will bring table called student here, but it will only capture what is common between Hasifah and student, and what is common is the record called Kevin. So that is the intersection. So for these other records, it will just append a null value. For these other records, it will just append a null value, but only display for Kevin, because it is a common denominator for both tables. That is for the left join. And for the right join, the reverse is true. We just put here right, and what is going to happen is the right values will be displayed, but the left values will contain the null values. So but the common denominator, who is Kevin, because he cuts across, that row will be there complete all through for both tables A and B, okay, or for both Hasifah and student. But for these other values that are not common for both tables, they will return null values. That is what we call the right outer join. And then we have a full outer join. What does the full outer join? It produces a set of all records in the student and a program, and such that they match both tables. And if there are no results that match both tables, it will what? It will return a null value. But I want you to remember that MySQL does not have a what? It doesn't have a full join. So in this case, it uses the right join, and then you use the term union, the clause, and then you bring the syntax for the right, the left join. So in this case, you have, that is the syntax for the right, that's the syntax for the left outer join. So immediately after the syntax, you say union. Okay, union. And then you bring the syntax for the right join. So we say select all from Hasifah right outer right outer join, then you put student, right outer join student on Hasifah dot reg number, which is equal to student dot reg number, and then you terminate. So this is the entire syntax. As for then you say union, and then it union this, and then you write the syntax for the right up outer join. So what you have here, you see this result here. Now that is your union, okay, which is also referred to as a full outer join. The full outer join is a combination of both the left outer and the right outer. So you see, this was your left outer where you see the null values on the right hand side, and this was your right outer which has the null values on the left hand side of your result set. So that is the full outer join. And then we have the full outer, the full also sometimes you can also specify the columns that you want. For example, you can specify and say select, but in the specification of the columns that you want to return, you have to mention the table where those columns are. For example, you say you say select. In this case, we say let's look at the table called Hasifah dot, and then what under the table called Hasifah we have last name. If I'm not mistaken, let's first see. Table called Hasifah, yeah, it has the last name. So you can say select Hasifah last name, and then student also dot this table called student has age, okay, and say student dot age. So here when you are specifying, when you're dealing with joins and you want just specific specific columns to be returned, you have got to first mention the table where that column is, then the column itself, then you mention the table where the and the column itself, okay. Then you say you put from Hasifah, and then you say right outer join, right outer join, then you specify program, which is the other table, and then you say on Hasifah dot reg number, which is equal to program, which is equal to student on reg number. Okay, there is an error. Hasifah on, okay, there is an error near Hasifah. Oh yeah, instead of from I put from. Mark.program does not exist. Oh, sorry. On, this is supposed to be on student. Okay. So now here you see this is returning only two columns that we have specified here, the column last name from a table called Hasifah, and then a column age from the table called student. So that is how we can use the joins to specify particular columns. So this is the end of the 15 minutes for this video. Let me record another where we're going to look at the left outer join excluding inner joins and the rest. Thank you very much.